with the loopy band if you're ready to do that. So please have your loopy band handy, yellow, your red, a couple of you might have a black if you're very, very strong into mid glutes. So please have your band handy to your side. Obviously you don't have to work with the band, can you see me? Obviously you don't have to work with the band, so yeah, you can still get really good work into the mid glute working without the band. So if you haven't even got your band handy, then you know, just work without it. You'll still get good work into the mid glute. So as always, please make sure that you are thoroughly warmed up before you do any of these add-on sessions. You need to have done your 5 a day at least, and obviously please make sure you get down to the floor safely. So I'm not going to go through the transition to the floor, we're just going to go straight into it on this video, so please make sure you get down here safely. So we're going to start off actually lying on your back, and you've got your band handy there. So engaging the core, going to hug one knee into your chest, hug the other knee into the chest. We'll then stretch up your legs, and excuse my feet being chopped off. So we will then loop the band over your feet and right over the knees. You want about 1.5 inches worth of clearance above the knee, so make sure it's not just above the knee or on the knee joint itself. It's about 1.5 inches over the knees, and then once you've placed the band, we're just going to take the hands and just feel for the band all the way around. Make sure it's flat, make sure there aren't any twists in it anywhere that are going to cut into your legs as you're working. So nice and flat on the band. We're then going to bend the knees, and as always, please make sure you don't bring your feet down to the floor together. So we're never bringing the feet down together or lifting them up together. That action will put a lot of strain, it'll tend to put a lot of strain to the lower back. So there should be enough give in your band now to be able to, for you to be able to enable you to bring one foot closely followed by the other to the floor. So we're going to start off, I'm going to start off taking my right arm up. So if you know that you need padding between your head and your arm when you're lying on your side, then please have that handy to your right side. So we're taking your right arm up, and we're going to turn on to your right side. Hopefully you can see me okay. So this is 90 degrees now at your hips and at your knees, and please use the edge of your mat as a guide. You don't want any diagonal lines anywhere. You do tend to see that in class a lot when we're setting up, so check in with yourself. I know I say this all the time, but it's so important that you get your setup right. So line yourself up at the edge of the mat. You want a horizontal line from your hip to your knee, make sure you've got that. And then you want a vertical line from the knee down to the ankle. So again, if you need your support for your neck, then please place that. So ideally, I would be here working. But because I'm talking to you, my neck placement is slightly different. So it might not be, you know, it might not appear to be correct because I'm talking to you. So please make sure you've got your placement, and I do encourage a slight kind of look down there. If you're really not sure about your neck placement, what I'd advise you is to really just feel for what's happening. Obviously, I'm not there to check you right now. So if it doesn't feel right, if you're feeling some kind of a pull here, then please just take a nice rolled up towel, a nice flat cushion, and just pad yourself out. Okay, so make sure you've got your 90 degrees, and making sure the hips are stacked. Hips, knees and ankles are all stacked, shoulders are stacked as well, and just feel for what's happening now through this right shoulder. So you might prefer to place your hand like so onto the outer thigh, or you might prefer to place it in front. And really depending on the length of your arms, you might like to bring over your cushion, your blue block, and place your hand onto that for some height. So we're drawing up on pelvic floor into deep lying abdominals, and you also need to take a gentle lift of your waist away from the mat. So just take a gentle lift now of your waist away, and all we're doing there is engaging your oblique muscles. So remembering the internal obliques do make up part of your core, and they have the job to help keep the spine stable. So just take a gentle lift of your waist away from the mat, and we're ready to start. The feet, the heels will stay together. So remembering it's that hinging action coming from the heels to get the outward rotation through the hips. So when you're ready, you breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, you're pushing the knee away just up to hip level. Breathe in to bring it back in, and again, breathing out, pushing the knee away. Breathe in to bring it back in. Please make sure you're constantly monitoring what you're feeling in this movement. You do need to be really careful that you're not just going through the motions, and it's quite easy to do that. So you can find yourself just kind of counting up how many you're doing without really thinking about what's happening in your body. And it's so important, of course, in all these exercises that they are effective exercises, and it may just be that the exercise isn't appropriate for you, and if it's not, then we need to find an alternative that's going to work the right muscles for you. So if you're finding as you're working this movement that it's feeling a bit strong, it's feeling really, really strong, and I should say the movement does need to feel quite strong. You know, we really do want to get some really good strong work into this mid glute. But if you're finding that you can't maintain the hold on your core, your waist is starting to sag down towards the floor, then please slip the band off and work without the band. Also, if you just don't like it, if it's feeling uncomfortable on this bottom hip, especially if there's any kind of real pressure going through the bottom hip, then come out of it, go into lying on your front and do your Charlie Chaplin feet lying on your front. Or you can come right up to standing, of course, and do your Charlie Chaplin feet in standing. The main thing is that we're targeting these muscles and really working some good tone, good strength into them. So just watch out now as you're working, and you're less likely to do this if you're working with a band. Make sure that you're not rotating out too far and moving the pelvis. So remember, with all your Pilates exercises, the pelvis needs to stay stable. Top hip needs to be over the bottom hip all the way through. You're going to make this your last one. So pushing the knee away, and hopefully you can really feel this down to mid glute. Try and hold for 3 breaths. A deep breath in, blowing out. So keep the resistance going. Try and push away a little bit further though with that top leg. This one, your last one. Slowly relaxing down. Well done, everyone. Bring the top leg forward, your knee onto the floor. Again, there should be enough given the band to enable you to take this release. Just giving that a rub there to help release. So just shout out at me now what you could feel there on your scale of 0 to 10. It does need to be up there, 8, 9, 10. So if you've been working without the band and it feels like, you know, a 4 or a 5, then you're probably ready to work with some more resistance. You're ready to work with the band. So always feel for what's happening. So when you're ready, we're tucking the bottom leg under, and this will be different now to class. Usually we turn onto our backs and go on to the other side, but if you do that, you're going to have your back to me for the other side, and you wouldn't want to do that. So we're going to push up now into sitting, and literally just come into sitting and just swing the legs around to do the other side. So, excuse me a sec, just need to adjust my pump. I'm going to lie on that, it's really quite hard. So, into position. It's a different angle now, isn't it? So, again, if you need head support, please use that. Check on this shoulder. Come up a little bit so you can see my feet. And just line yourself up with the edge of the mat. Draw upon your pelvic floor into deep lying abdominals. Lift your waist away. Heels together. Breath in as you breathe out. Push the knee away up to hip level. Breathe in to bring it back in. So really make sure, first and foremost, that your pelvis is stable. That's the main thing with all your Pilates movements. The pelvis needs to stay stable, and you just go ahead then and work through the muscles that we're targeting. So really feel for what's happening. It might be feeling quite different from one side to the other. Just noticing that difference. And even though we are working through the mid glute, you need to make sure you're constantly checking from your head to your feet what's happening. So how does your neck feel right now? Do you need to take some support? Where is your left shoulder? Are you still lifting the waist away from the mat? You know, does it feel like hard work on the mid glute? Is the glute underneath kicking in? And that can happen. So remembering mid glutes are working to help support and stabilise the pelvis, and pelvic stability is so important because if your pelvis isn't stable, your lower back won't be either. So it's important that we're maintaining good strength into these stabiliser muscles, the mid glutes, the main glutes, gluteus maximus, which helps to support and stabilise the lower back. So please just maintain the work into glutes. I'm sure you all know your standing glute exercises. So when you find yourself, you know, standing, washing the dishes, cooking the tea, so on, just try and work in some glutes. We all tend to be weak into glutes. Now make this one your last one. So you're pushing the leg up, holding it here, 3 breaths. A deep breath in. As you breathe out, push away a bit further. Breath in as you breathe out a bit further again. And your last one. Shout out at me what you're feeling, 0 to 10. Relaxing down, well done. Bring the top leg forward, knee onto the floor. Just giving that a rub there to help release. And then tucking the bottom leg in, slowly pushing up to sitting. And that was your side lying mid glute exercises with the band. So I hope you can all feel your glutes. I've worked really quite hard there just now. So please let me know how you're going. Drop me a message. And have a good week, and watch out for my other add-on sessions. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Bye for now.